Right. I remember
And what was your answer?
the first time I didn't answer because I didn't know who the heck was calling me.
No, I think you answered on the
It was
first.
the second
Maybe
call.
it was the
Second
time.
call because you left a message, and that's why I knew to pick up. But we talked and said basically I had some issues going on in my life as well that I needed somebody to watch the apartment. She needed a place to stay, so she came up.
Yeah, and
didn't need to worry about my situation, but at the time I thought I was going to have something going on that I was going to need to have somebody watch the apartment. Didn't happen. She came up, stayed there, and then we realized that if she was going to do there for any longer than the time that she was, we needed more space because we only had the one bedroom and she was sleeping on the couch and kind of tripping over each other. It would be nice to have, more room. So we got a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right. Because when I first came up there, it was one way, but then your situation changed.
Right.
So we rolled with it.
Right. And then, like I said, and then after about a year, 6 months, we were there. We ended up getting Gemma as a service animal for you.
2017, December 30th.
So about we were at Dwell for about a year. I mean, not Dwell. 1401 for about a year, a little more.
Right.
When you got that, and then
that was after we had gone to Utah.
Yeah. And then you went for that following in 2017 for Christmas. You came out there and we got Gemma that following.
I saw Gemma on Facebook.
Right,
mutual friend.
We got her the following January after you came out to Utah.
December 30th when we came back.
I understand. It was after Christmas vacation when you met my parents because you had talked to them but you hadn't actually met them in person.
Right. A lot of interaction.
In any case, got Gemma as a service animal for yourself.
An ESA, and I had a doctor's note too.
Yeah, but and then it didn't work out. The person, one of the managers at the apartment complex we were
stalking me,
did not want because they were not a dog friendly place in so many words. So they decided they didn't want us. They didn't want her there with the dog. So
I wasn't on the lease.
Well, that too, but. So we ended up moving on to a house where we could have Gemma without any troubles, and we were there. We were there about a year or so.
Port Indian, and that's what happened. There is they granted us the lease, but I was still working with attorneys, unfortunately for them, but working with attorneys regarding my disability and working also towards the SSD because I really still have the migraine headaches on a daily basis. So, and that was the one thing we forgot.
Well, I wasn't just I was just going high points of how we met. And
that's cool. So I was still working on the disability diagnosis. And then once I was granted disability, you lost your job, and then we got popped. We were good. Well, what happened?
They didn't renew my contract, and then I got another job within about 2 or 3 months at a place that was literally 5 minutes from where we lived at the time.
Well, we wanted to buy that place immediately after I got my disability, after I was awarded my disability.
Well, initially when he said when our lease came out, he was going to extend our lease, and then he decided he was going to sell it because I think he was staying out of the country still. And then things kind of fell apart. I don't know exactly to this day, I don't know exactly what happened, but he didn't want to sell it to us. So we just said, all right, well, we got a part-time, it was supposed to be short-term apartment in Norristown. We were there for a while. Then you ended up getting the place in Dwell for your mom and your brother at the same time, more or less. And then that you guys moved out of there because we got this house in 2020. Still had the apartment in Norristown, one because it was right down the road from where I worked, and two just seemed to make for her medical program in PA. She needed an address in PA.
Well, there's more to that because as soon as when we were at Town Line, Klein property, they own both. They own Dwell and they own Bluebell. Okay. The Town Line townhomes. So what happened is they were coming after me. I wasn't in the lease because of Gemma. I started looking at other apartment complexes that we could potentially relocate to because I was still treating with Dr. Tabby. And it wasn't about the cannabis program. It was about my medical treatment. my infusions that I was
Right,
getting
right.
like at least twice a week for my CSF lead.
I figured I knew it was medical. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't about the cannabis program. It was about Dr. Tabby, Dr. David Tabby, Optimum Neurology back in the day, Bala Neurology. And we looked for an apartment, and I actually toured not the ones we ended up in, the ones that were next door. I forget the name of them. And that was right next to Port Indian. And then we had seen
that?
actually, I had seen online while you were sabbaticaling a house on Port Indian for sale, and that actually ended up being the house that we rented after leaving Townline Townhomes.